Hello and welcome back to the Novice Lumberjack, where it is hopefully going to be a very fulfilling day because I am almost finished with the 357 XP. Got the clutch cover from a modern 460 or 455 Rancher on there. Works great. All right, I was missing the cover completely, and all you do is you just leave out the adjustment screw that they normally come with. It's built into the case. You know, it's this right here. Just leave it out and use this. This one has the bar adjustment. Did I say clutch adjustment? But the bar adjustment is right here. Now it's built into the side cover, and so that's a little bit nicer. Anyways, but what I'm fixing to do right now, the top cover, as you can see, is pretty nasty and, you know, just ugly. I've seen this done before. I believe I have done it on some four-wheeler or dirt bike plastic, one or the other. And that is use heat to bring the production color back and make it look nicer. So we're going to see if it works here on this cover. Here we go. Never done it on chainsaw plastics. I do know that a lot of chainsaw plastics have a lot of fibers in them, you know, to hold them together and make them really nice and strong. And whenever they have that, quite often this trick doesn't work so well. So far, seems like maybe it's getting a little darker, but it's not getting brighter. Oh, this seems hopeless. Looks like I'm going to have to add a good bit of heat, so I'm going to go out here to where I don't mind so much if it burns, because it's already got a little scar right there from the exhaust. You guys probably aren't seeing anything, but for me on this end, no, it ain't working. Seems to make it a little bit darker, but, well, see, I started getting it too hot right there. No, too much fiber doesn't work. So the next step, next possibility is, hold on, back Cerakote. All right, it's a ceramic clear coat is all it really is. It's like Armor All to the next level because it actually dries and hardens very much like a clear coat does. Now this stuff is really nasty to breathe in, so I definitely recommend you being in a nicely ventilated area. Plastic's still warm. Look at that. The heat should make it dry quicker. Previously, before I started working on this, I did clean this up really good as good as I could within reason, you know, with some brake clean. And I think that that right there is probably about as good as we're going to be able to get it. All right, so the heat additive was a total bust, but the Cerakote looks pretty good. Not too bad. We'll let that dry. And the only thing I got to do now is finish up the muffler mod. I've already started on it, and so it should be a quick process to finish it up. And then this baby is ready to get oiled and gasolined up, and we'll see if it runs. It has been ported by me. I took 45 thousandths out of the chamber. Let me tell you the numbers real quick, just because I took 45 thousandths out of the combustion chamber, and then I cut the base to set the squish to 22 thousandths. Our intake opens at 79, the exhaust opens at 104, and the transfers open at 119. So hopefully this is going to be a nice little screamer. And once I get done with my testing, between it, the 359, the Poulan 3750, the Shindawa 600 SX, and I need to port the 562 XP, and I need to port the Stihl MS361. Once I get all that done, I can compare all of the best 60cc saws. I know that there'll be a few guys out there that want me to test with the Dolmar as well. What is it? The Dolmar 6100. But I won't be able to do that. Those things are kind of few and far between. And honestly, they're not going to win anyway. It's just like the Poulan's not going to win. But I have a Poulan that's been well ported, and it's really strong, and it would be good to test it against these. My point is, in saying that the Dolmar is not going to win, is even if the Dolmar outperforms completely, it doesn't matter. They're hard to find. They're not the easiest to get parts for, and I am looking for the best all-around 60cc saw. And so I just don't even feel like it's in the running. The Poulan 3750 is not in the running either, because like if you fry that cylinder, you're pretty much effed. You know, it's hard to find another 60cc Poulan cylinder. But since I have it, might as well test it against these guys. But really it's going to come down to 5 different chainsaws. The 357 XP, the 359 Husqvarna, the Stihl MS361, the Echo 620 / I have the Shindawa 600 SX, and the 562 XP. Those are the choices, I think, for what's in the running for the very best ever of all time 60cc saw. And, you know, a lot of people will go, well, that's only 56 cc's, you know. This is a 60cc class saw, you know. By my standards anyways, we're looking for a professional saw in the 60cc range that could possibly be the best one. So, about to get this finished up, and I look forward to more testing. So, all right. Keep an eye out for it. And then keep in mind that this thing right here, as well as my 359, guaranteed are going to be sold. So if you're out there looking for one and you got a little bit of patience, you know, it might take me a couple months from now, maybe 3 months from now, before I'm completely finished with everything, before I'm ready to sell. But I will be selling both I'll be selling a 361. I'll be selling a 359, 357 XP, and I'll probably sell my 562 XP. There's only so many saws that I can reasonably keep in my stable, and I've been slowly but surely accruing these 60cc saws, and I want to test them all out and see how they perform, and then move them on. You know, my guess is, well, you know, you probably want to ask, what do you think's going to win? Well, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to win is going to be the Stihl MS 361, because I have the Holzforma G660, no, G366, I think is what they call it, a 366. And I've done very little work to it as far as porting goes, no machine work whatsoever, and it runs fantastic. It really does. It's really great. And the fact that you can get that kind of performance without doing any machine work, and there's even a clone saw of it, that puts it leaps and bounds ahead of everything in my mind. All right? Because what we're going to be doing between the 359, the 361, the 357, the 562 XP, and the 620 Echo, they're all going to be such splitting hairs that it's going to be such a preference anyways. You know, I mean, like, a lot of you guys like to remind me, and I get it, I don't blame you. Who cares if one cuts a half a second faster than another, or even 1 or 2 seconds faster than another? It's how it feels to run and how dependable it is and everything. And the Stihl 361 is a really good saw. So, I mean, these are too, but it'd be a personal preference thing. And since these things do not have a clone that you can go out and get and play with the clone version, well, then it's clearly just going to be that much less available than the Stihl 361. So even if this completely outperforms the 361, which it won't, it'll be really close. It'll be splitting hairs, you know. But even if it completely outperformed it, you still got this other whole side of the aftermarket responding so well for the MS 361 that it's hard to compete against that whenever you're looking for a saw that you're going to be able to have parts for years to come, is going to be a good performer right out the gate and respond extremely well to modifications. Yeah, my guess is that the 361 is going to take the cake. And but yeah, anyways, I got to get that muffler mod finished up, and then we'll see this thing run.